Don't you know your love is so divine? And I'm wanting you, girl, missing you, wanting you, girl. Don't you know your love is one of a kind? And I'm wanting you, girl, missing you, wanting you, girl. Since you got me, got no one to lean on. The picture in my head is me and you holding on. Love under the cover with some sweet slow song. And I'm in these girlfriend, baby, and hold your hand. With you like to be the wife of Brandon Young. Take your time and settle down because we are young. I don't like back and line, I the confusion. Rush into this thing, then things will be wrong still. Don't you know your love is so divine? And I'm wanting you, girl, missing you, wanting you, girl. Don't you know your love is one of a kind? And I'm wanting you, girl, missing you, wanting you, girl.
Good morning. A very special and blessed good morning to all of our listeners here on the Street 919 FM. I am Small Dread and this is You Talk with Small Dread here on the Street 919 FM. I welcome you all. I welcome you to join us on the live on Facebook and on YouTube at the Street 919 FM on Facebook and Street on YouTube. Come join us. We have the remainders of yesterday. We have the new developments in the same story. We have this apology to deal with. We have, as I promised yesterday, I would have gotten research on black things. I'm all in black today. Black hair, black clothes, black shoes, black all the way down. And we want to open discussion today. I just want the music to play, and I also have a special song that I would like to play for you all. A song from Chronics called Black is Beautiful.
Frames on the wall, it keeps reminding me, tell them about my fair lady, and all those things that then she's done for me then, well, tell them what Java's put together.
So, new music coming in from Chronics. Black is Beautiful.
We love the children of Africa.
Run it back.
Here is a story told to the children of Africa.
We love the children of Africa. Teaching the children. Oh, da 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 da. La da da da.
Good meditation for the children to listen to.
Oi. Black eye, black hair, black skin, black queen, stand majestic with the black king. Today I'll sing you a black song. You need to hear about beautiful black things. Cause most time we hear about black, we hear about black magic and black witches. Blacklist, black book, black market, Black Friday, you spend off your black riches. I've never seen a doctor in black, nor seen a black pill to cure no black people. But I've seen bush doctors like Tash and Molly resurrect like a real black beetle. Malcolm, Marcus, Martin. When you see Walter Rodney, ask him. Oh, you not hear about how well I've been things. So when the little offspring ask him, tell them they never told us that black is beautiful. Never told us black is beautiful. They never told us that black is beautiful. They never told us. They never told us that black is beautiful. When you see Walter Rodney, ask him. Oh, you not hear about how well I'm thinking. So you a behave and I go on like you never spent 500 years on a farm. The same chain you are wear and a go on is another black life in Sierra Leone. Boy, find out Mama Earth got dual then. They mind out Mama Earth black soul then. You work hard just to get a black yard. Same yard with your swipe pipe back your black boy them. Well, I see no faces now. But this is not a racist song. This is a song for the children who was never told about where the race is from. They never hear it in them favorite songs. Everybody calm as say slavery's done. What I got one when the babies come. I start read about things like Dogans, Black Kemet and Kush, Black Kings, Black Senate and books.
Share the live.
About pyramids and put.
We're getting into discussion today.
With physical looks. So every word when we sing black. In my world, everything black.
Black, white, white, black, right back.
So don't be surprised if me say me king black. Cause they never told us
Black is beautiful.
that black is beautiful.
To all our listeners and viewers here on the Street 919 FM, black is very beautiful.
They never told
Let us start to have some pride in ourselves.
us beautiful. They never told us.
Have an understanding of where we are from and where we are going. Today I come with some research for all you. Today I'll be talking about some black inventors. But before I get into that, before we get into all the beautiful black things that this world has brought forth, that has manifested in this land that we live in, we have something to deal with. This man, same man from yesterday, getting on bad, making his statements and whatnot, he apologized. And, well, as usual, some people want to accept it, but others, like myself, are not willing to accept it. Why aren't we willing to accept it? For those who are, just to give a little understanding of why we aren't willing to accept it. Someone comes in your house, they take what they want, they do what they want, then when they get catch, they apologize, and life continues as normal. Is that right? Is that right, Trinidad and Tobago? It is not. And someone needs to be made an example for stuff like this to stop. Somewhere along the line, it has to stop. It has to stop. Join us on the live here on the Street 919 FM. We are live on Facebook at the Street 919 FM and on YouTube at Street. Join us in, come and share the live. I'm waiting on you all so we could start the discussion. I'm waiting. Come join the live. Join me here on the Street 919 FM. Yes, welcome callers. Welcome. Good morning. Sorry, not callers, listeners and viewers on Facebook. Welcome. I welcome you all. Welcome. Come on in. Yeah, because you see, these people, they clearly have a disregard for us, you know. Not to pong the Guyanese nationals, but most, if not all, Guyanese nationals that I know, they are very hateful, you know. But I know not all Guyanese nationals are like that, okay? But a lot of them that I know, this is me speaking from my personal experience, they are very hateful. And we are seeing it again. And somehow, apologies. You see, apologizing for something you did of your own self is not an apology. You see, if I pass by you and I mash your foot by mistake, I apologize, okay, fine. But I'm not going to come and tell you something and then apologize for it after when I realize, nah boy. Because you see, that is what I feel deep within myself. Don't apologize for what you feel deep within yourself. Face the consequences. And consequences for things like this. You in a next man's house. The old people ever tell you, you can't be a man in a next man's house. You cannot be a man in a next man's house. You in a next man's house. This is not your land. This is not your country. You cannot come here and do what you want and live as you want, say what you want, then just apologize and we're supposed to just roll over and take it. And that is where we have been for the longest while. We have just been rolling over and taking it. We have just been rolling over and taking it. And that is what that is what is angering a lot of, you know, listeners and viewers here today. That is what is angering the population. Because at some point we have to rise up and say, no, that is enough. At some point we have to say, that is enough, I do not want any more of this. we want difference. We want better. We want new. We for ourselves have to have a certain level of pride. You know, you cannot go other places and do them kind of thing. I want all you to take example. You know, we like to follow America with everything. Take example to how the American people just move. See the kind of national pride them have. Where this is America, and they're ready to build wall to send Mexicans out and these kind of things, because there's a level of pride. They see people infiltrating their home, their land, and they decide to stand up for it. Wrong as it may be, choose a side as you may choose, but somewhere along the line, we have to have a certain stand. We have to stand for something. People can't just come here, do as they please, and then an apology is what makes it all better, because it doesn't. In his heart, he still feels the same way he felt when he made his statements, threatening this one and saying this and saying that. You come here, right? And mind this, yes, he did not buy the land that he so own and landlocked. He is by default, because nobody, he on the land 16 years and more, unharassed and whatnot and blah, 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 blah. So that is how it become his land. So you decide, okay, Trinidad is a pushover country. They're easy to infiltrate. I'm going to go there, go in the far rural areas, in the far, and landlock this place. And then when I done, me and my family, we got do for them. And what you do? All you're posting up all your video. Ooh, look at me, ting, private beach, blah, blah, blah. And then when you get scolded for it, as you were scolded for it, your daughter was scolded for it because you are not man enough to scold your own daughter and tell your daughter, well, you know, what you're doing is wrong. You cannot do things like this. This is against the law, and it is so, and it is so. Because you're a lawyer, so you're supposed to know what the right thing is. You're supposed to know what the right thing is. Before you do that, you jump up. Oh, this is we land. What you could tell we? Ding. The beach landlocked by default, because we own the land around it, and so on. Before you pull up your daughter as a big man, this is the stance that you take. And now you want to come and making threats and thing, you know. Making threats and thing, you know. And now you want to come and apologize. And we supposed to just say, yeah, boy, you're right. We sorry, yeah. You know, the Bible tells you what happens in the dark does come out in the light. And it will always come out in the light. But you see, when it comes in the light, it has to be dealt with. It has to be dealt with. I find, personally, it should have a limit to how much land a foreigner could come in here and occupy. First of all. Because 600 acres of land is way, watch me, that is a lot of land. He shouldn't be able to occupy that. And it's not like he fenced that. I sure he fenced that. Because just to fence a lot of land, which is what most of us does live on. Just to fence a lot of land, we know how much money it is, we know how much work it is. Just to fence that. So we know for sure he has fenced that 600 acres. So what proof of occupancy he have on that 600 acres? Because I know he doing no farming. He do no farming. He had no house built on all 600 of that, on that full mass of land. He had none of that. So what exactly qualifies him to occupy that 600 acres? Good morning to people on Facebook. Good morning to Miss Yvonne. I welcome you. Yes, they are nasty. They are very nasty. And they do as they please and say as they please, and they come in and out. Callers, I'm not taking any calls right now. All right? I just open the show, and then we'll get into discussion. Okay? Morning. Someone said that they like the stance. Yes, because we had to stand for something. Something we had to stand for. If we don't stand for nothing else, we had to at least stand for we national pride, because this we land. This is where we born. This is where we fathers come from. We forefathers, the slave here, we great grandmothers was raped here. We great grandfathers was beaten here. We have to stand for this, because this is we own. We fight for the independence are here, you know. People cannot just come here and do and say as they please, you know. We have to let them know what it is here, you know. Because we cannot go elsewhere and do that. We cannot go elsewhere and do that. So somewhere along the line, people have to get pulled up. And people have to be made examples of in order for any change to happen. Because if he could come and say and do as he please, make threats to the minister, make threats to our minister, and go home and just apologize and cock up nice and comfortable in all that he owns? Who can't? Who can't? Who can't? I mean, isn't that like a crime or something? Where is Gary? Gary does pull up in 10 minutes and I apologizing on video and thing. Where Gary? What going on? What, we are asleep or something or what? Join us here on the street 919 FM. I'm opening calls now. Come in, callers. I'm waiting all your calls. Join us here. Level and nonsense. And we supposed to just take that. How we gonna take that? Morning, caller. Welcome.
Morning. I totally agree with your stance here this morning, because apparently, you see, people of African descent in this country have a tendency to forgive.
Yeah,
forget,
very easily.
And because of that passive way that we have, which is not a bad way, but you see, in this time, we have forces out there who really does not accept the African man as an equal. Right? You see, that is what is killing Trinidad and Tobago. I have a lot of friends. I am African descent. I have a lot of friends who have all different ethnicities. And I could tell you, been privy to conversations where it was said, not in a way.
Caller? Caller, you're breaking up. Hello?
Concrete, looking for something. And I brought up the discussion about the COVID and what transpired with this guy and the land and whatnot and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And the fellow was trying to explain to me, well, it kind of, it boundaried where the breach kind of private, so he was trying to say the man have a point. And there was this gentleman who came in who we would consider a 1%er, right? An ageable guy, about 70-something, overheard the conversation and said, Gary put him in his place. He named Dr. Rowley. And you see, that kind of language, put him in his place language, that language is what was used many times as racist slurs. And I had to depart from the place immediately before I got into a serious conversation with this gentleman. You understand? Because the manner in which he said it, right? Gary put him in his place. And if this is what these white people consider what Gary did concerning the Prime Minister, then we straight back in the days of colonialism.
Straight back.
You understand? My brother, keep up the fight. And any call to kind of exceed this situation that we face within Trinidad and Tobago, I would be there.
I would
Just
be there
call.
also. Thank you, caller.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like him stripped down. Send him back home. We don't need a lawyer from Guyana here. He serves no purpose to the Trinidad community. He serves no purpose to this country. All of his land is private, so it ain't helping we. Send him back home. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. This is my contention. You see what the last caller just raised? With the way Gary spoke to and about the president,
the Prime Minister.
This whole situation with this girl at the beach and her father, all of a sudden, this is what all of Trinidad is talking about. We have completely forgotten
About
the
Gary.
madness about that pool party and the disparity and difference when people have money and power, what they can do and what the poor average person can do. We completely forget that pool party bacchanal and what Gary said and the way he spoke to the Prime Minister about the Prime Minister and the way he spoke to him, and all of a sudden all of Trinidad taking up this dizzy hair. I mean, I look at the girl saying the thing there and she looked like little dizzy hair to me. She totally pale, funny color, bleached out, a hat on, and she there in the shade and they're talking. The girl looked totally dizzy to me. But all of a sudden now, she and her father is the big thing. And what is going to come out of it? They are people with money. What is going to come out of it? You think he's going to be chastised or he's going to be... No, nothing is going to happen. They are people with money just as well, and they're going to find another topic for us to go on. Everybody is taken up with this situation, and the way Gary Griffith is carrying on and the way he spoke to the Prime Minister of this country, that has never happened before in this country. Everybody forget that. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you, caller. The caller does have a point, huh? She does have a point. But we do have a topic at hand, right? The caller does have a point, and I do agree with her. We are being distracted from other things. But this is something that is very big. The Gary Griffith situation, that is, at least it is in-house. Okay? So it's like you have children behaving bad in your house, and you have children from, like the neighbor children behaving bad in your house. Who are you going to deal with first? Send them home. Send your neighbor children home. Hey, go and let all your mother and father deal with you and let me deal with my children. That is how I see it, and that is why I taken this stance here. Right? That is why I am taking this stance here, this particular stance. Morning, caller. Welcome.
Hi, small jet, morning.
Morning.
This guy, he was brief, and now he understands the ramifications of what he did. So now he's back, looking to backpedal.
Yeah, he's looking to run.
Out of your mouth from the abundance of your heart. Let me tell you something. What you yourself show that was published. I don't support the doubles, I don't support the royalties, I don't support nothing. And I was amazed to see one of my brother. He stuck to one by doubles. So he come back and say, why by the doubles? He says, nah, after concealing it. I was amazed. These people tell themselves they could do what they want, say what they want. But it's so sad. Somebody sent me a picture on WhatsApp. Two goddess that look like animals. They call us black. They call us monkey. They call us black and they call us monkey. I don't want to call the goddess name, but they're going to prank us. We are their goddess.
I know exactly who you're talking about, caller.
These people, something wrong with them. Seriously wrong with them. Wonderful program. Look for them listening.
Thank you, caller. Just some information here from our sponsors. High five to winning big. The Lotto Plus jackpot is now estimated at $5 million. What is your top 5 list? A new home, a car for you, a car for your loved one, living debt-free and saving for the future. Do it all because Lotto Plus jackpot is at now an estimated $5 million. Plus, if you get 5 numbers, you can win $5,000. Win everything on your top 5 list. Get your tickets now for Saturday's $5 million Lotto Plus jackpot draw. And remember, winners always play Lotto Plus. That was just some information. Getting back into the discussion right now. Someone is saying on Facebook, Miss Andra, good morning, Small Dread. I find we Africans need to take back our rights. These people feel they could come and do us what they want. And that is exactly, you see, to the caller who called just now, the lady who spoke about us being distracted. The reason why we are allowing this distraction, is not because we want something new to jump on. This is an attack towards us. What happened down with Gary Griffith, with the people having the party or whatever, they were just breaking the law. This guy is attacking us as a nation, merely because he's not from here and he's showing the blatant arrogance and disrespect that he could do and say as he please. And yes, they down there, they doing the same thing, but they didn't say anything. It's like they saw wrong, and they simmered down. You realize it didn't have another 1 cent, right? So let me just keep our eyes open. But this man is a man who want to respond because he feel he bad. He feel he's this and he's that. And that is why we have to deal with it. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for taking my call. Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
You said something that was my thoughts for the whole time since this happened, and I'm trying to get through to the radio station to voice my opinion, but thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Okay, voice it.
What you said about the amount of land foreigners should own, that was my thought exactly. We should put a limit
Yeah.
on the amount of property anybody that was not born in this country should own. And we have to look at the land space that we have. It's a small island, 2 small islands we live on. We can't have foreigners coming and buying up so much land or occupying it, because I don't know if he bought it or it was just...
No, he was on it. He said he occupied it for more than 16 years, which by the law you're entitled to that land.
So he a squatter.
Yeah, basically.
Right. So you come in our country, squat in our country and put yourself up as owner of the land, and then want to come and insult the whole country. You know how much people in Trinidad...
The audacity.
You know how much people in Trinidad, generation born, who have grand and great grandparents that was born here, and that people own a square foot of land?
But that's why I'm saying.
Not everybody want to go and squat. Some people want to purchase the land and have entitlement and ownership, and they cannot do that. And that is what I cannot take with these kind of things. We have to find a way to keep these people. How he could come and own and tell me that he owns so much land? There are people here who can't even put up a 2x4 nowhere. And you come in here to say that you own.
And look at how much too.
Who gave you entitlement? Even if you come here, right? Who gave you entitlement to come and squat and own? Who gave you that entitlement that you could come and squat in our country and then own it and then turn back and insult the whole country?
Ungrateful kind of behavior.
Not ungrateful. I find he should be deported immediately.
Send him back.
I don't care how much children you have here and wife and whatever. This needs to be a law that you have to have generations here before you could talk about owning land in Trinidad and Tobago. It is too small. Everybody in Trinidad born here cannot have the opportunity to own land, but you could come here and own it. We have to put a stop to this, and I'm glad to see young people like yourself talking up, and the young people have to come up and speak up, because they is the future owners of this country, and we have to learn to speak up, because it's in no way he could go in no other country and do what he do. I don't think there is no way you could go in a country and not purchase and own how much acres, a land? No. There have to be some law put into place that these people cannot come here and own no more than a lot. They could build a house, and they have to be in the country for a certain amount of years to purchase land. You can't just come and own land, because then what will happen with the Venezuelans just now? What will happen if this is something that is allowed to fester? What will happen with us and all the Venezuelans that here, after time, they could just go out and because some of them starting already, because I saw a documentary when they had, I think it's on TV6 or TV, where they take up the beach and they live on the beachfront. They live in there, they have the shacks up somewhere down Ikaka, so wherever they just come up, they occupy beachfront. So just now we can't tell them, or they will say they live in there how much years.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
exactly.
So, this thing has to get in check, you know. This has to get in check.
It had to stop here. It cannot go from here. It cannot move from here. Thank you, caller.
Very much so.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it really have to stop here, because check this, right? He do this and get away. And next foreigner will come here, do the same thing and get away. And eventually, when I get a little older, because I'm only 22 years, when I get a little older and I want to buy land, because unfortunately my parents wasn't able to accumulate such royalties for me, but I would like to do it for my children. When I get older and I want to think, but them foreigners go own everything. How you could come here and get 600 acres? What kind of madness is this? And as I said earlier, it's not like to say he have houses on that land or agriculture on that land. What proof he has that he has occupied that much land for 16 years? I'll take another call. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, big man. Good morning.
Morning.
I just called to say you have it on the button, big man. You have it on the button. Because, and let me just deal with Mr. Griffith a little bit, because he always wants to run out in defense of the police, right? When the bias is shown, right? Because I want to find out in this country, right, what Mr. Griffith expects from the citizenry. All you want to have these police doing all what it is they want and not holding them responsible for what for the oath that they think that they're supposed to be carrying out. So we had a situation in this country, right, where some of the same police that Mr. Griffith is presiding over said to us that they didn't know what marijuana is, right? So they come up with the plant-like substance term. And apart from not knowing that the substance that they call in plant-like was marijuana, they went a step further to remove pages from the station diary. I haven't seen them being charged and arrested for destroying government property, 1, or 2, trying to pervert the course of justice. I haven't seen that, you understand? But you run out now to identify the substance after 6 years, as if that is supposed to heal what you all have done to this nation, the police service that is. Would that change the fact that many other lives were destroyed for that same plant-like substance that only was ready to identify as weed and didn't take the same lengthy process to identify it? What do you really think is just going on in this place, Mr. Griffith? And it's only when you're at the poorer end of the economic scale that Mr. Griffith feels okay to identify you as a cockroach. But I keep telling that man, a time is coming where they are going to reap exactly what they have been sowing in this country, because all they want to take people from town and send them to the furthest point of work. All they want to take people from south and send them to the next furthest point of the country to work. You want to take officers from Trinidad and send them to Tobago to work. What sense is that? What sense does that make? I have seen now that very recently with this Brianna Taylor ruling, apart from the 12 million settlement, you know what was included in that? Incentives for officers who are willing to work in their communities. And you know what that will do? That will ensure that you operate in a certain manner, because as long as you are an officer charged with that responsibility and working in your community, you will either gain respect or not get it from the people and them. And it will only be based on how you operate. Why is it only don't leave these officers to work right where they live in instead of begging the population to come and give all the evidence, give all the information? I have information right now that Ms. Prasad, the Sessa and them removed clauses from contract.
Okay, caller.
Ensure that this state...
Wrap it up, caller. Wrap it up. I have some other stuff coming in.
All right, I'll leave it there, but Griffith, check yourself before you wreck yourself, big man.
Thank you, caller.
We're taking on these on our neck in Trinidad. Thank you.
Someone is saying here on Facebook, there are several Guyanese squatting on prime property in Tobago undisturbed, something the THA have to urgently check in to or investigate. Okay, just passing on the message. Good morning to Miss Hepchick. My dad is saying, he who owns the lands own the country. Let that sink in. And that alone makes sense. It makes sense. If you own all the land here, you own here. Simple. Love the show. Government needs to step up the laws. Yes, thank you, because we really need to protect our citizens from, because the people who are coming in here, the foreigners, there are two types of foreigners that come in here. There are those who come seeking, a means for a better life, such as some of the Venezuelan nationals and whatnot. And there are some that are coming in who already are established. But I don't know if it's like a talk around the world that Trinidad is an easy get through. I don't know if it's a talk around the world with rich people that Trinidad is a place because we like to patronize everything, so they could come and suck we. They could come, because I just look at how much are these Chinese groceries going up all over the place. One set of Chinese grocery going up. You understand? Because them bringing in the people here, and I will let all you know something. The Chinese groceries are not owned by the Chinese people that you see in there. They are not owned by the Chinese people that you see in the grocery, the cashiers and the people who pack and things. They do not own it. That is someone who is setting that up and bringing in their nationals. So when they bring in all their nationals, all of the gyro on them that you're seeing all over the place now, they're replacing Just not to go replace double stand, eh? I just letting all you know, if we don't step up as a nation and start to take initiative to take back we country under siege, people coming in and taking it. It have more foreign thing inside here than anything else. Go in the grocery, you don't see local fruit. When last you see thing like Mami Sipo and Sapo de Land thing? You seen foreign thing, one set of foreign thing. So what here is? Here is like the foreign junkyard, because we know for sure them foreign countries not sending the best here. They're sending whatever remain, they're sending whatever they don't want, like what they're sending here. And we so foolishly eating it up and we taking it because that's what we want. We want to feel as if we not from here, we better than here. I had a talk with somebody yesterday and he talked about our how we threw away our culture by building modernized buildings. We threw away the architecture of the older buildings that we have, that you'd see around Port of Spain and thing, so that now, when they see pictures of Trinidad around the world, they do not know where that is, because we do not have like a signature look. We do not have our own identity. We looking like elsewhere. Why? Someone else is saying here on Facebook, Small, you notice how them does move pack up all by beaches and rivers, and on top of what they want, and on top of that they want we land. So who is we? Nobody. It seems so. It seems so. It seems so. Some way somehow. Some way somehow. We had to correct this. Okay, so I have some pictures here for you all, as today's World Afro Day. I have some pictures here for you all. And so I want to show some pictures here on the live. Join us here on the Street 919 FM on Facebook and Street on YouTube. Once again, good morning to all of my YouTube viewers. Ooh, I missed these comments, boy. I didn't see so much comments on Facebook. Okay, so morning to you all on YouTube. You could pull up the first picture. Okay, so the first picture said, did you know the real Lone Ranger was a black man named Bass Reeves? And yes, he did live among the Indians, the Lone Ranger. Now, in them days, these kind of stories was the big thing. You know, it's the big thing. But you see, in them days, it also had racism to a point where we for ourselves, this what we're going through here is nothing compared to that. So what they did, instead of putting a black man to start the show, they put a white man with a black mask. It is right here on Facebook. Come join us. Come join us and see. Come join us and see. Next picture, please. Come join us and see. Right here, come on the Street 919 FM. Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb. A bit of controversy here for you all. Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb. No, yesterday after the show, when I said that I'll do some research and stuff to bring forth to you all, I got a whisper in the wind, and I got some, some helpful things here. And the light bulb, the Louis Latimer invented the filament which lights the bulb. Without the filament, the bulb can't be lit. So basically what happened was, this black man, Louis Latimer, built the thing that makes the bulb light. And Thomas Edison decided, you know what? I'm going to put a glass around it, screw in the bottom, and I invent the light bulb. And this is what does happen to us as black people. We don't have the resources and the money to forward certain things. And these other people, they just come and they take it, they take all the credit, they take everything. And we end up with the latter end of the stick. I don't want to say the word I really want to say because on radio. We end up with the latter end of the stick. You understand? But everybody who listening knows the expression. Next picture, please. Everybody knows the expression. It is crazy. And these are what we need to be teaching in schools, other than Christopher Columbus and all of that. These are the things we need to be teaching in schools. Spark plugs was invented by a black man named Edmund Berger. Spark plugs. What? Next picture, please. Next picture, please. I have a couple pictures here. So I want to just go through them. Otis Boykin. A black man from way back when, right? He have 26 patents. 26 patents. And I want all you to know something, eh? This information that I'm sharing with all you have to dig for these things, eh? If you just research these things on Google, you ain't seeing this. You have to dig for these things because it's all full with lies. It's all full with lies. And now our parents, our children, only know, our children only know white. That's all they know. The white man made the world that we in. When that is not true. They sat back with a whip while we made the land that we know. Correct all yourself. Otis Boykin owned 26 patents, most famous being the pacemaker. His invention is responsible for saving millions of lives. For those of you who do not know what a pacemaker is, it is something they attach to the heart to help it beat if you have heart problems. Next picture, please. We're moving along. It is disgusting, very disgusting. Dr. Shirley Jackson, a black woman, a very strong. Watch me, we need to start to love with black women, and black women start to have a sense of pride in all you. Not because a man tell you you're nice, mean you will give up everything. All right, you're supposed to know that you're nice. It have nothing that a man can tell you out here that you should know for yourself. All right? And if he tell you something that you don't know for yourself, it's lie. Plain and simple. Start having a level of pride. We black women are beautiful and they are strong and they are very powerful and very capable. Let us understand that. Dr. Shirley Jackson, the inventor of the touch-tone telephone,